Gitchigaaming forms the headwaters of the Great Lakes system. She is relatively pristine in her watersheds, and the land that surrounds her is sparsely populated. These unique features allow for high water quality and protection of her sacred nature.
According to many indigenous cultures, women are the keepers of the water. Water is our most precious resource. It is our responsibility as women to appreciate the water and to ensure the health of the water for the next 7 generations into the future. It is also an indigenous saying that when the grandmothers speak, the earth will heal. This is what brought grandmothers and other women to the water.
A call went out to elder women to gather at sacred Moninkwene Minis, which means Flicker Island in the Ojibwe language. She is called Madeline Island in English. She is the largest of the 22 Apostle Islands in Lake Superior and the historical sacred center of the Ojibwe Nation.
52 women heard the call and came from 12 states and 6 indigenous nations. We gathered for 4 days and 3 nights from August 12th to August 15th in 2010.
We came to express gratitude to Lake Superior and all water, to create and communicate a vision of Lake Superior and all waters as healthy, vital, and balanced, now and for future generations. And we came to gift and celebrate Lake Superior and all water as one, with each other and the community.
My breath, my blood, my body, my spirit, we are all.
During the 4 days, we met in small talking circles using the process outlined in the book, Calling the Circle, by Christina Baldwin, which is to speak with intention, to listen with attention, to self-monitor, and to include our diverse ways of appreciating water.
The first day we went to Lake Superior and greeted her like a beloved friend. We returned another day and offered prayers through pipe ceremonies and individual expressions. We listened to her patiently and shared with each other her response.
On the 3rd day, we hosted an open, intergenerational community event, and 13 of us spoke to the public about the lake and what she taught us. This event was started with a traditional feast, and the 3 Fires Meday Lodge women honored us, the island, and the water by bringing the little boy water drum and singing sacred songs.
On our very last day, we gifted Gitchigaaming with a water blessing song called Nibi Wobble. Then we created a prayer bundle offering that we put in the lake with love.
This video shows a small part of this extraordinary grandmothers gathering for Gitchigaaming. It includes some of the words from the 13 grandmothers from our group who spoke to the public on our 3rd day. We are grateful to the 105 men, women, and children that came to listen and speak with us that day.
We've been spending time on the water purposefully to get to know it and develop a relationship, spend some time with her. And yesterday, we all went out there together, and part of the activities was a water blessing that one of the women led. And I was paired with this wonderful woman, Sharon, back there. And the intent was to bless one another. And as a result of our blessing to each other, I learned some things that I'd like to share. And one was the importance of laughter and how laughter's energy and the vibration of laughter can neutralize the energy and vibration of pain. And so laughter is a really powerful medicine. And so I took that lesson to heart and was kind of pondering it after the blessing. And then I chose to spend some time just in the water by myself. And so I was kind of wading out in the water and was just kind of standing there. And the water, being alive, she spoke to me and she said, "Come and play with me." And I'm like, "Me? I'm a serious person. I'm not a playful person. You know, you want me to play with you? And she said, come and play with me. And the waves were rolling in, and I'm like, okay. And so I kind of stood there like, what do I do, you know? I had forgotten how to do that. So I kind of awkwardly splash around a little bit, and next thing I know it, as a wave comes in, I'm jumping up with each wave, and then as the waves got bigger, I jump higher, and I thought, well, next one I'm going to jump and spin around. So I was doing that, and then of course as I'm spinning around, I lose my footing and I'm underwater, and then I find myself laughing. And laughing out loud. And so I just really realized that she was asking me to play with her, to laugh with her, and that what I had learned about the healing power of laughter is so important. And so I continued to play with her, and I did a somersault, which I haven't done since a little kid. And sure enough, I didn't know how shallow I was, and poof, I get sand right in my face, and I heard her going, you know, she thought that was really funny. And so, yeah, I continued to do that for her, and I really realized she healed me through my laughter as well. And so when I was done with that, I went back on shore, and I heard giggling and laughter, and sure enough, there were two little girls playing in the water. And you didn't have to remember and learn how to do it. You guys know how to do that naturally. And so I invite you to teach people like me who may have forgotten how to play and laugh and celebrate with the water. So thank you for being here, and it's been an honor.
We went to the water yesterday, as you just heard, as part of our time here. And it was brought to our attention to see if the water had a message for us. And I'm a skeptic, you know, water having a message, but I believe it can. But for me, a message for me. And I found out that it did. We just heard about laughter and play and its importance, and the opposite of that is tears and sadness. And I was experiencing sadness. And I was raised by a woman who was not well enough to mother me. And so I raised myself. And so I never learned to trust in anyone else very well. And I've actually had a good life, but recently I went through an experience that was more painful than something I thought I could maybe make it through. And that's the pain I was feeling yesterday. But since being here and learning about the bigness of this lake, I believe Gitchigaaming means big water. And the experience I had yesterday and the message that I got was that Mother Water is big enough. She's big enough to heal me. And we were asked to say words to the water to heal the water, and I was aware that I was not healed, and I didn't think I could heal the water if I was not healed. And another message I got from the water was that one thing I could give is gratitude. And I have 3 children, and I'm an older mother, and I can speak as a mother that there's nothing that delights my heart more than when my children thank me for simple things, and it's heartfelt. And so one thing I learned here is that I'm going to go back to my life, and I want to daily feel and express my appreciation for water. And to the children and to the children and all of us, I'd like to say that probably the vast majority of us were taught to give thanks for our food before we eat. And some of us have not done well with that, but I would like to encourage all of us to express gratitude to water daily.
And I had a dream. That afternoon I was tired, and I thought, there was one lady left, and she said, do you have something to do while they're gone? And I said, well, I could read, I could pray, I could make a few phone calls. So that's what I did. And I took a nap. And and it was wonderful because I had this awesome dream about Lake Superior. And I was walking in it. And it was really a blessing because there was these huge waves, way taller than me, coming in. And there was these little people running. And I looked up and I seen my granddaughter standing on a shore far away. And I thought, wow, why are they running away? These little people. And I stood there and I cried because they were running away. But it was Lake Superior calling them, inviting them for blessings. And when the waves went out, the waves went out, there was rocks, little rocks, sparkly little rocks with holes in. I couldn't figure it out. And they were sparkling. And all of a sudden it turned nighttime. And I seen stars, many, many stars. And it was their grandmothers. And I woke up and I said, whoa, whoa. No wonder why I was supposed to stay home. Oh, it was awesome.
I encourage you to seek out your elders, seek out your grandmothers. I ask the grandmothers to come to the communities, no matter what color, because the relationship is not between colors. The relationship is between the bear and the water, and the fish and the water, and the bird and the water, and the rain and the water go back and forth, healing us as we go. And we are the filter. We are the filter for the lake.
My name means coming cloud woman, which is the storm clouds that brings the cleansing rain. And in that, after I received my name, came my song. And this song is your song. It's for you. And it's from the water and rain and lightning spirits and thunder spirits. Listen to the rain. Listen to the rain. Can you see the lightning as it takes away the pain? Then along comes the thunder with so much to say. They're here to cleanse Earth Mother, and our hearts now here today. Listen to the rain. Listen to the rain. My spirit is sent soaring like an eagle so strong. The new rain now sustains me, another day to carry on. Listen to the rain. Listen to the rain. Listen to the rain. Listen to the rain. Miigwech.
We need to honor the water that's within us. Sometimes it's hot and we get sweaty. And I've decided that I'm going to honor that sweat that drips off of me as I work. And remember that it's part of that renewing cycle that the Creator has given us. And the last thing I'd like to share is that I've decided that I will honor the water within me that comes out as tears. And I will no longer be selfish with this water that comes from me. And I will share my tears with you. Thank you very much for being here. Wewen.
Hola, me llamo Diana. La vida es agua, pura vida. Agua es sabiduría. Sabiduría es agua. What I was saying is that in Spanish, that water is life, life is water. And we have this term that's a really ancient term, and it's called sabiduría. And sabiduría means really ancient wisdom that grandmothers and grandfathers pass on. And that's part of water. It's that passing on of the spirit.
Every time you breathe, there is moisture in your breath, and it connects all of us, for truly all are one.
The 2010 Grandmothers Gathering for Gitchigaaming was honored to include participant Margaret Behan, Cheyenne Arapaho from Lame Deer, Montana, a member of the International Council of 13 Indigenous Grandmothers, who represent a global alliance of prayer, education, and healing for Mother Earth, all her inhabitants, and all the children for the next 7 generations to come. Margaret Behan joined our gathering because of the importance of water and Lake Superior.
The Grandmothers Gathering is a prophecy that has been told thousands of years ago that we would come to live in this time. And so now it's stirring in the world about the grandmas coming together, and the prophecy is when the grandmothers speak. And we're concerned about our home, Earth is our planet, and it's our home. So the sacred elements, the water, the fire and the air, and then the earth is very important to us because that's what sustains us here, And for Native people, tribal person like me, grandmother, I'm teaching about these sacred elements, that we need all of them. And it's ancient, from ancient times they were taught, and they came this far through myself, and so this is what I'm teaching. Water is that sacred, to pray through, and it hears our prayers, and it goes there, even healing our body cells. Because the body cells, they speak to each other, even the scientists say that. Body cells, they talk to each other. Healers tell the body cells that are good cells through the water heal. We don't talk to the negative, the bad, the disease, We tell the good cells to overcome through the water, because the water is in the body. That's what I understand from the water.
The 2010 Grandmothers Gathering for Gitchigaaming was also honored to include participant Josephine Mondaman from Thunder Bay, Canada. She started the Mother Earth Water Walk in an effort to walk the talk. In 2003, Josephine walked around Lake Superior, carrying a bucket of fresh water in an effort to raise awareness about our most precious resource. She continued her water walks to include Lake Michigan in 2004, Lake Ontario in 2006, and Lake Erie in 2007. In the spring of 2011, young people from around the country will carry ocean water from 8 corners of the continent to its center, Lake Superior.
It came from in 2000, the year 2000, when it was talked about how the water is so precious, and that if we continue with our negligence, the water is going to cost ounce per ounce, the same as an ounce of gold. So if we continue with our negligence, so that word, if we continue with our negligence, that's what really hit me. Because in the end, when the prophetic words were done, the elder finished and said, "What are you going to do about it?" So of course, it really hit me in terms of, what am I going to do about it? So it took me up to a year and a half to finally in 2002, the winter of 2002, that's when we decided, well, let's walk around the lake. And so that's how it all started, just as one of those moments in time. The idea came, let's do it. So we just went ahead and did it. So that's how it came about. We were going to walk around Lake Superior, because that's where we live. We live right on Lake Superior. So we decided to walk Lake Superior. And then what happened was, the second day of the walk, when we started Bad River, Wisconsin. 2 days after, the second day, when we were approached by an elder on the highway, they brought the drum for us, and they did a traveling song with the big drum. And this old man, his son and his grandson, they sang a song for us. And I was holding the water up with the pail. And this car pulled up, and an old man got out of the vehicle. And he said, "I saw you standing there. I drove by. I turned around. I had to come back, because I remembered something that my father told me when I was this high." He said, my grandfather told me that there would come a time when there would be women walking around the Great Lakes. And he said he was really, really overcome by seeing this happening in his lifetime. He said, "I'm glad, so happy to see this happen before I die." He said that it is actually happening, what my grandfather told me. He said he was so happy. He gave us an eagle feather, and we carried it with us on the journey. And we put it on the water pail, just to give it height for us to carry. And so that's how it started with all the 5 Great Lakes. First it was just for Lake Superior, but then his prophetic words was, that's what motivated us. And after he said that, I looked at the young man beside me and said, "Does that mean we have to do all the 5 Great Lakes?" Lake Superior, I think, was the most difficult in terms of spirituality, how it was really, the spirit was there in the water, and how that water really came alive and spoke to us in terms of how precious that water really is. Lake Superior is the most precious water that I've known anywhere. And then the other lakes were more learning what each lake represents. Well, it is still my hope and dreams that people will wake up to the awakening of the preciousness of the water, and how we all have a responsibility. It's not just Aboriginal people, it's not just Native people, it's not just Indian people, it's not just tribes and First Nations. Every single person, every man, woman, and child has a equal responsibility for the water. If we don't say anything, who's going to? Who's going to speak for the animals? Because the animals too need help. They need the water just like we do. The plants need water, so we really need to help each other. Native and non-native, in all walks of life, different religions, churches have to come together and really speak for Creator's work. Creator, put us on this earth to take care of it.
May this film inspire you to appreciate Gitchigaaming and all water. Please join us in visioning all waters of the world as healthy. Consider ways you can show appreciation for the water you hold within your body. and the water that supports your community. Miigwech, thank you to Gitchigaaming and Lake Superior and Monenkwene Kaning Minis, Madeline Island. Miigwech.
Woo!